How are you doing? I super excited to be here again. It's been a while, a long while that we've had this face-to-face conversation, and it's not entirely my intention. I've been having lots and lots and lots to do, but what is important is that at this time, I am coming to you with something that I believe strongly you will love, you will benefit from. It's a trend that is currently going in the AI space, and it is very important that as a community where we learn, we share, and grow together, I am able to bring you this um, good news, as I will call it. So, two major topics I want us to focus on, and that is enhancing employee productivity with modern work tools. And the focus will be leveraging on Microsoft Intune and Microsoft Copilot. So I would give a general overview, talk about the benefits, the features, and how to of these tools. And in the next episode, because it's going to be a series, the next episode I will be doing a demo on how it is used. Okay, so what is Microsoft Intune? I'll be explaining this from an end user perspective mostly, while from an administrator perspective, you would also be able to understand it better because I'll be breaking it down to layman's terms. So Microsoft Intune is in comparison with what the traditional domain or on-prem domain that we have is it's like a repository. You have a bucket where you have a bucket in your environment where you put computers inside. Now the limitation here is that if you are not within that environment, within the network, there are limited support or things, resources that you can access within the network. But with Microsoft Intune, it's like taking that same bucket with all the devices inside and putting it on the cloud. And on the cloud, you can access it anywhere. So if you are looking for work from home, work from anywhere, the possibility to work seamlessly across board without being restricted to a location, Microsoft Intune is one solution that can help you actualize that. So I know back then when people go on maternity leave, people have to travel to other locations, other sites, because we were using on-prem. Even some little things as little as password save. Sorry, I mean resetting their password. They sometimes you have to ask them to come back to the office. When your VPN is not working, you have to come back to the office. When you want to install a new software, you have to come back to the office. When so many pitfalls with the on-prem. Some people value it for security, but with the current trend of technology and the need to be able to work from anywhere, the Intune comes to play. So Microsoft Intune is a cloud-based service, which is basically a security app for computers, phones, and tablets used in accessing company resources. Now, at this point, let me chip in another feature or another benefit of implementing Microsoft Intune. They bring your own device, the BYOD is enabled on this platform. So if you are on the on-prem domain, it might be very complicated to implement. So when I mean bring your own device, I bring my own laptop and I can access company resources. I can print, I can send emails, I can connect to company resources, maybe a web page, a web portal, a software. Or I bring my own laptop. I decide not to use the company's laptop for today. I bring my own laptop. Can I access all these things like I was using the office laptop in the traditional domain? um I wouldn't say impossible, but it will be very tasking for the system admin, and you might be using up the system admin's time that you would have used for other stuffs. So for instance, you have a similar laptop, maybe you are using a MacBook as an official laptop and you have your own personal MacBook, And then because you are hurrying out of the house, you mistakenly take your own personal MacBook, and on getting to the office, you realize you have to, if you have to go back home, it will take you 3 hours just to go back home, another 3 hours to take. That's almost the day's work. So how do you work with your own personal laptop? That is where the Intune makes it very easy. So in continuation of our definition, it also helps to keep work stuff safe and make it easier for IT to manage all the devices. Let's even talk about patching and getting security updates from the OEM. Microsoft Intune makes it possible. So before the Microsoft Intune invention, we had to use third-party apps or manually deploy patching to devices. But with Microsoft Intune, this is done centrally. And when it comes to security compliance, you can get all your systems compliant within 24 hours because it is not restricted to the company network. I remember back then, somebody that's on maternity leave or it's out of office, you have to tell the person connect to your VPN so that you can download the security patches. But now, on the person's own internet, the person can download these patches automatically and get compliant. And this is also a great fit for organizations that are security conscious in this cybersecurity age. So now, why does it matter and why now? The future of work anywhere depends on it. Enhanced security, centralized device management, reducing physical DC assets, improved productivity is also cost effective are some of the reasons why it matters now and why we have to consider Microsoft Intune. Okay, so you've heard from me. Now let's hear from the horse's mouth.
Microsoft Intune is a cloud-based service that helps you manage and secure your organization's devices, apps, and data. It's a component of the Microsoft 365 platform and Microsoft's Enterprise Mobility plus Security suite. To access Intune, you use a browser to navigate to the Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center. So, with Intune, you can manage, configure, update, and protect the devices that your organization uses, such as computers, laptops, tablets, and phones. You can protect your company's data as well as devices by helping to control how the data and devices are accessed and shared. Also, you can manage, configure, protect, and update the apps that your organization uses, including your own company's apps. And you can ensure that these devices and apps are compliant with your organization's security requirements. You can do all this while making sure that end users at your organization have a great experience and stay productive. Intune
Okay,
works in conjunction
now
with Azure Active
now that
Directory, Azure
we've heard from
Information
the horse's
Protection,
mouth,
as
I
well as
wanted to
a number of
further
other
explain
Microsoft
other two things
technologies.
that he mentioned.
So,
And
if you're
he
new to
talked about the
Intune, you
Azure
can get
Active
started quickly
Directory.
by
So
signing up for the Intune
users
free
have to
trial.
also be in the cloud using the Azure Active Directory AAD. And he talked about the Azure Information Protection, that is the AIP. And this is also like a security feature that helps in data loss protection. So when you, I don't know, for some of you that might already be, when you want to try to send an email or save a Word document, you have to select, is it public, is it private, is it internal, is it confidential or restricted? That's Azure Information Protection. So this is also included in this Microsoft Intune package. So it's worth giving a thought. So moving on, tip for the day. Did you know that over 70% of security breaches start at endpoint devices? So what this means, the hackers these days, the phishing attempts that are made towards security breaches don't go through servers most of the time, or other means because or firewalls, because the hackers already believe that the administrators are, are putting an eye on those devices. They are also technically skilled to mitigate security breaches in those aspects. So what the hackers mostly do these days is to go through endpoint devices. And endpoint devices refers to the devices that are used by users. That is your laptop, your phones, your tablet that are used in accessing company resources. So if I am able to compromise an end user's credential or get them to click on a phishing email, then I can easily gain access to a network and compromise or breach their data. So if over 70% of security breaches start at endpoint devices. It is important that organizations put in place a centralized point of managing these devices, and that is exactly what Intune comes to do. So, what are the major highlights or benefits of Intune to end users? One, it helps in organizations' data security for Intune managed devices. So, every Intune managed device is guaranteed of data security to a high extent of even 99.9, because like I mentioned, the security is centrally managed. Softwares are pushed. You can determine what a user installed or what if not installed. You can everything is centrally managed and viewed. So security on that regard is highly guaranteed. High availability of company resources such as application. So another thing you can do to confirm if a laptop or a desktop or a phone is on Microsoft Intune, is onboarded, is to search for company portal. So company portal is the repository within your is the software within your laptop or your device that houses all the applications that is pushed from the backend Intune to your own device. So you can be in a different location from where your office is, and then you need a solution, a software, because you are not an admin. You need a software to be deployed to your system. All you need to do is send a request to your IT department, and once the solution is security approved, it is pushed via Intune, and you just check your company portal and you click on install, and it is installed. They can even push it to install automatically on your laptop, and you just click on start and you find it seamless, all via the internet. The third benefit is the ability to remotely wipe and delete data for both workstations and mobile devices if missing or lost. This is such an amazing feature. So I used to work in an organization where people come to complain, oh, I misplaced my device, I misplaced my device. And then instead of worrying about the company data, because that's what is most critical, we can, from Intune, clear out the data. Now, if it is your own device, bring your own device, BYOD, maybe your phone or your tablet or your laptop. That is not, we are not managing the device, we're only managing the data. So your emails, we can delete only our emails, the organization's emails, we can delete those data. And if it is a company's um, device that is given to you, that is the corporate organizations managed devices, there we can delete both the wipe out the content on the entire device and wipe out the data on the entire device. So whoever stole it will not even be able to log into the laptop. Everything will be deleted. So when it comes to data security, we are guaranteed that company resources or data will not be leaked out to the public. The third thing is improve users' experience as it is seamless with application installation via company portal. So, like I said, the experience becomes seamless because the end users' experience is very critical in service delivery. So, when the users don't need to always call, they don't need to always travel down to the office, they can get what they want wherever they are, and they are able to improve their productivity. Then their experience becomes seamless. Then new staff onboarding becomes 80% faster as devices deployment is automated. Now, by default, if you use the traditional way of installing a new device, getting their emails ready and whatnot, it might installing all the softwares. I remember back then it could take you 24 hours or even more than, because there are different solutions that you have to install manually, and if you it was just too stressful. But with Intune, in less than 2 hours you can get a new staff onboarded and ready to go with their devices. Another feature is the work from home is fully enabled by Microsoft Intune. And last but not least, less IT interventions translate to fewer work disruptions. So you will have less, because back then you have to call an IT person when you had issues, and then you have to leave the laptop or the device for them. IT, they could take it to the office, they could just sit there 30 minutes, 45 minutes, they are figuring it out. But with Microsoft Intune, you have less need to get an IT on your desk, and that is helping you less distracted or disrupted from your work, improving your work and daily productivity. Now, Managing devices with Intune. Overall, Intune focuses on securing work data while respecting user privacy for personal information on enrolled devices. So we talked about the bring your own Android or iOS device. That's bring your own device, BYOD. In this regard, we only manage the application really manage the application on the phone or on the device, and that is the mobile application management. Then, if it is a company owned device where we manage both the device and the applications, or the where we manage both the device and the data, the applications, that is the corporate owned business use only. That's Kobo. So here we manage both the mobile application management and the device together. Now, just to drive home what this is, what the difference between this here, or what it does basically, is imagine you have your work email on your phone, which many of us do, and many people are so skeptical of having a work email on my phone. Is the IT able to see other resources on my phone, my pictures, my document, and whatnot? What Intune does in this place, Intune acts as a security guide for that account. So it goes and poses behind the email and says, okay, this is my property. I am looking at you to make sure that everything is protected. It doesn't peek into any other personal messages on your WhatsApp or your photos or whatever. It just focuses on the email, and that is his job. As a matter of fact, a different profile is created on your device. So you have mobile device, you have a mobile profile, personal profile, and then you have work profile. So when you have those two different kind of profile on your tablet, on your phone, or your laptop, that tells you that that falls under the category of bring your own device. But when you don't have it separated, you have just company portal managing everything, then you know that both the device is managed, and then the applications are also managed. Now, what are the Intune application capabilities? A centralized command center. I told you that the IT can manage all the devices from a centralized place. There is also multi-factor authentication. So you can sign in with your password, you can sign in with your fingerprint, you can sign in with a PIN. So these are all enabled on Intune. So security is well guaranteed when you get onboarded on Intune. And we also have the data leak protection. I also talked about the Azure information protection earlier on. And then we talk about the remote wipe, which are all possibilities of the Intune. So let's quickly take a quiz. How much control does Microsoft Intune have over your personal device when enrolled in your company's mobile device management program? So quickly go through this. A, Intune has complete control and can access all your personal data like photos and messages. Number B, Intune can manage security settings, enforce password requirements, and potentially wipe the device if lost or stolen, but cannot access your personal device. C, Intune can install any app it wants and track your browsing activities. D, Intune requires special user permission for each action it takes on your device. So what's your answer? I'll give you a second. Okay, here's the correct answer, B. And I hope you got it. Then it means you're following and you understand what we are talking about. So moving on to Copilot. Copilot is like having your own personal assistant, but this personal assistant is a tech savvy expert. Now, what does this mean? High executives have their own assistants that take care of their meetings, that take care of their schedule, their flight itinerary, and a whole lot more. In this regard, you're having the same assistant, where it's an assistant that you don't need to give any day off or leave, or never goes on any kind of sick leave or whatnot, and is extremely um, tech savvy to help you improve your daily activities. Now, these are some of the platforms where you can get into embedded into. So you can get your assistant within Microsoft Word. You can get this assistant within Excel. You can get this assistants within Outlook. You can get this assistants within PowerPoint. You can get this assistants within Teams. You can get this assistant as a standalone Copilot on its own. You can get this assistant within OneNote. You can get this assistant within Loop. You can get this assistant within the whiteboard. So let's dive into this. Okay, so looking at some details about Microsoft Copilot. Microsoft Copilot is an AI assistant that can help you work smarter and more efficiently. This is no doubt what you're going to be looking at, and you will see how it helps you to work smarter and efficiently. Second point is it provides personalized suggestions and insight across Microsoft 365 apps like Word, Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, and etc. With Copilot, you can automate routine tasks and focus on high value work. It's like having a virtual assistant Copilot right at your fingerprint. So, fingertips. So, like I mentioned, you're having your own assistant, but a virtual assistant, and the name of this assistant is called Copilot. I hope I have been able to break down what Copilot is. Okay, so now let's take an introductory review of Copilot from the OEM. I guess you always trust them more than myself.
A jumpstart on everyday tasks with Microsoft Copilot, your everyday AI companion. It's ready to help you create, edit, ask, catch up, and understand just about anything. Let's see how Copilot works in Outlook. Say you don't have time to read long email threads. Select Summary by Copilot to catch up on the most important points. Copilot can also write emails from scratch. Select Draft with Copilot and share some guidance. Thank Mrs. Ramirez for my child's progress report and ask for a follow-up meeting. Let's change the tone to casual. And go. You can always edit it to make it sound more like you. Missed a long meeting in Microsoft Teams? Copilot can get you caught up fast. Select a meeting chat and recap. There's everything you need to stay in the know. Maybe you want some design support in PowerPoint. Add a new slide about best practices. Then, make it your own with another ask. Make the titles on all slides dark blue and change the font to Aptos. Nice. Perhaps you need some help with a report in Word. Add a concluding paragraph to sum up key ideas. Want to edit your result? Highlight some text and select Rewrite. And since you're always in control, you get to decide what to keep. These are just a few ways Copilot helps you achieve more every day. And if you need a bit more inspiration, just check out down here. You'll see all kinds of prompts you can ask. And save favorites for later. There are even more ideas and tips at the Copilot Lab website, like how to get the most out of your prompt. Explore what's possible with Copilot.
Will lose their jobs. So AI would not take people's job, but people that fail to embed AI in what they do will definitely lose their jobs sooner or later. And this is what it means. If you are a finance specialist, you have to be AI finance specialist. If you are a designer, you have to become an AI designer. If you are a typist, you have to become an AI typist. If you are a system admin, you have to become an AI system admin. You have to be AI savvy. And this is a good introduction on how to embed AI into your work too. So we will be moving on to how AI can help us within Microsoft Word. I'm sure that by now we already understand the concept and the logo of what AI is, and then we'll be taking a deep dive once you have this embedded. A quick um, insight is the fact that Copilot requires license. You need to have a Microsoft tenant. You purchase a license to be able to use it within your environment. So before I talk more on Microsoft Word, on how Copilot helps with the Microsoft Word, you need to have a tenant. You need to have, because Copilot will work within your tenant. It does not just access only the web continuously because of privacy, data security. It also works within your tenant. And there's what we call Microsoft Graph. Microsoft Graph is the connector. It stays at the base of the Outlook, because people will be wondering how, because Copilot can actually go to your Outlook, go to your Word, go to your Excel, go to your PowerPoint, and search for information there, and before it generates a result for you, because it's within that same Microsoft tenant. So what goes around these different applications is the Microsoft Graph. And so Copilot relies on Microsoft Graph for internally generated data sets. I hope that is not too much. Please drop a comment, drop a review, a question in the comment section, and I will do well to ensure that I have not mm, um, missed you along the way, or um, confused you with any part of this section. I would like to explain it further. If I have to do a video, if I just have to answer you, guide you, that's my intent. So at this junction, let us focus on Copilot in Microsoft Word.